The air on Varelia 9 was thin, tinted with an electric scent, like ozone after a storm. Lieutenant Mara Chen stepped off the drop shuttle and adjusted her oxygen rig. Her boots sank into the soft violet moss that carpeted the forest floor. Around her, twisted trees rose like metallic sculptures, their bark shimmering faintly under the twin suns. The planet looked almost enchanted, if not for the hostile energy surging beneath every rustling leaf. It was supposed to be a routine recovery operation. 20 hours earlier, the Union star cruiser Halberd had intercepted a distress signal from the surface. A small alien child, species unknown, had triggered an emergency beacon encoded with a single phrase. "Mother trapped. Help!" The signal had faded soon after, cut off by what analysts feared was interference or worse, an intelligent predator. Multiple search drones were sent. None returned. When High Command deemed the mission non-essential, citing risks and lack of strategic value, Mara volunteered. Not out of duty, not because it was her job, but because she couldn't stop thinking about a child, lost and desperate, calling for help. Even if it was an alien, it mattered. As the shuttle lifted off behind her, Mara checked her wrist display. The beacon's signal had been faint but triangulated to within 15 kilometers, deep into the cursed forest of Varelia 9. Part 2. The Forest of Teeth. By kilometer 5 the traps began. The first was subtle, a patch of vines that appeared natural until Mara stepped closer and a needle-sharp tendril shot up to strike. Her reflexes saved her, barely, and the vine impaled a nearby trunk instead. "Predatory flora," she muttered, logging it in her recorder. "Hostile environment confirmed." As she progressed deeper, the terrain changed. The forest narrowed, the trees drawing closer, their branches weaving like fingers trying to entangle her. Bioluminescent fungi pulsed beneath her feet, and strange clicking noises echoed from the shadows. Then came the first monster. It erupted from beneath the moss, a six-legged beast with crystalline skin and mandibles like twin scythes. Mara had no time to aim. She dove, rolled, and fired a pulse shot that ruptured the creature's left flank. It screamed, a high-pitched tone that made her vision blur, and vanished into the foliage. She didn't chase it. There would be more. 4 hours she advanced, slipping through traps, dodging attacks. Her suit was scraped, dented, and once torn by a thorned limb. Blood soaked her side. Her breath grew labored. Still she pushed on. When she reached the old structure buried beneath roots and vines, the beacon's signal pulsed strongest. A ruin, clearly artificial, hidden under centuries of overgrowth. She entered carefully. Inside, glowing blue eyes peered from the shadows. Part 3. The child. She was small, no taller than Mara's waist. Her skin shimmered with opalescent patterns, constantly shifting like oil on water. Her hair, if it could be called that, floated as if submerged in liquid. 2 arms, 2 legs, but no mouth. Instead, her wide eyes conveyed every emotion with unnatural clarity. Mara lowered her weapon. "You sent the signal?" she asked. The child tilted her head. Then she nodded once, slowly. Mara knelt. "Your mother. Where is she?" The alien child pointed downward, toward the sublevels of the ruin. Then she touched Mara's hand, and an image burst into Mara's mind. The mother, taller, fiercer, bound by glowing coils in a chamber of crystal. Guards. Laws. Machines that pulsed with dark energy. Telepathy. The child didn't speak. It shared. Mara nodded grimly. "We'll get her. But we have to move." Before she could lift the child, a sharp hiss echoed behind her. She turned, firing on instinct. The shot struck a creature half-phased into visibility, a ghost beast, camouflage flickering. It screeched and vanished. "Cloakers," Mara hissed. "Of course there are cloakers." She picked up the child and sprinted through the ruin. The world blurred around her, motion and threat and heartbeat pounding in tandem. Part 4. The labyrinth below. The passage into the lower ruin was choked with roots and shifting walls. The building, if it had once been a facility, was now half alive, pulsing with some alien intelligence. Doors opened at random. Floors rearranged. At times, Mara found herself walking in circles despite her navigational HUD. The child's touch kept them oriented. She would point, guide, send small bursts of emotion. Fear when a direction was wrong, relief when they neared safety. Mara grew to trust her. At one point, they rested in a chamber filled with floating spores. Mara was exhausted. Her arm was bleeding from a cloaker's claw. The child reached out and touched the wound. Light passed from her fingers into the torn flesh. The pain dulled. The bleeding stopped. Mara stared. "Thank you." The child simply blinked. Innocent, ancient, and wise. They continued. As they neared the final chamber, the air grew colder. A hum vibrated through the floor, not sound, but a psychic signal. Anger, hunger, malice. The mother was near. So were the monsters. Part 5. The Chamber of Chains. The doors to the chamber opened like eyelids. Inside, the mother was bound, suspended in the air by streams of energy. Her body was limp, but her eyes opened when she saw her child. Emotion flooded the room. Joy, desperation, urgency. Mara advanced, weapon raised. But the guards were already moving. 3 of them. Not beasts. Machines. Bipedal drones with razor limbs and energy shields. Autonomous and programmed to kill. The first charged. Mara dove, sliding beneath its strike and firing upward. Her pulse shot cracked its armor. The second flanked her, too fast. Its blade sliced into her shoulder. Pain exploded. She screamed and fired again. This one fell. The third was smarter. It waited. Analyzed. Mara's limbs shook. Her suit was failing. The child clung to a pillar, trembling. The drone advanced. And then the child stood. She stepped forward and lifted both arms. From her body, waves of energy rippled. Not fire, not force, but presence. Signal. Frequency. The drone paused. The child walked to the machine and placed her hand on its chest. Her eyes glowed. The drone stopped, then collapsed. Mara stared. "You controlled it." The child turned to her, weak now, breathing heavily. "No." She understood it. Came a voice. The mother, now free, descended slowly, energy swirling around her. Her injuries closed. Her gaze locked on Mara. "You brought her back to me." Mara nodded, barely standing. "She saved me. I was just here." The mother knelt beside her child and embraced her. They shimmered together, 2 lights merging. "I am Collis, first speaker of the Nalari," the mother said. "You saved my daughter. And through her me. I didn't even know your people existed," Mara whispered. Collis smiled. "Few do. But this act, this kindness, will echo." Part 6. The Return. They offered to heal her, and they did. Not just her wounds, but the scars she'd carried for years. Or, grief. Collis and her child, whose name translated to Tia, reached into her mind, soothed what no medicine had touched. "You are welcome among us," Collis said. "Forever." Mara shook her head. "I need to get you out. Your people. Are they alive?" The answer was complicated. Collis explained they had crashed here decades ago, fleeing war. The ruin had been their ship, now overrun by wild growth and corrupted machines. Only she and Tia remained. "We will rebuild," she said. "You have given us time."